Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot minute since I filmed anything. The last video that I did was a few weeks ago when I did the Walk for Suicide little vlog. But today I just decided to do a video. It's just been pretty busy for me, so I haven't really had time, but I decided to do a video using the Morphe 350 palette. Very nice neutral colors, very similar to, you know, these are all my favorite shades, so they're really nice warm tones. Probably going to do one with a nice cool toned look next time since I've been doing a lot of neutrals, but this one with the little shimmer is kind of pretty. So yeah, if you want to see how I get this look, please keep watching. Okay guys, so right now I don't have anything on my skin except for my primer, which I did use the Rimmel Fix and Perfect primer. It actually smooths, resurfaces, brightens, mattifies, and protects. I really like it. It fills in the pores. I've noticed when I put it on with a beauty sponge as opposed to just rubbing it in, it kind of fills in my pores a little bit better. So I've been doing it like that. I really like it. I just got a new foundation that I'm going to try out today. Oh, and I do have my brows on. That's the only thing I have, and some of the soft ochre paint pot on my lids already. So for the foundation that I'm going to use, it's called Limelight by Alcone. I've been seeing a lot of it on Instagram, and it's really good. I compare it to like the Graftobian type of foundations. A lot of makeup, it's like a makeup artistry line. When I did a lot of freelance work, I have these palettes that have the foundations in there, and obviously I have multiple colors because when I did, you know, freelance, I needed multiple, you know, everybody's colors. So, but the consistency kind of feels like that to me. I was looking for my brush, but I just realized, so I got this thing on Amazon. I showed you guys in one of my videos how I wash my brushes, and I just kind of lay them flat. Well, I got this thing on Amazon. It's so cool. It's like a little drying rack, and you just kind of plug your brushes in underneath, and then that way they sit standing upright. They dry upside down, which is how you're supposed to dry your brushes, so the water doesn't get into the ferrule and loosen all the hairs. So I was looking for my foundation brush. I'm like, duh, I washed it last night. So let me find my foundation brush. The brush I'm going to use is by Crown Brush. It doesn't have a number, but I really love this one. So I'm going to go right in the foundation with my brush and just put it on. Sorry, I have to use this brush, this mirror, because I don't have my contacts in, so I need to be close to the mirror. So I'm going to be looking this way while I'm doing it. But I'm just kind of getting it in. It's a cream foundation, obviously, which I really like cream foundations because I'm a drier skin, so I prefer cream foundations. Make sure you get up onto your ears because your ears will be lighter than your face if you're wearing the wrong color. And then also down your neck. I have to blend it down my neck because obviously the foundation's a little bit darker. So, and I am wearing a gym shirt because I'm going to go to the gym later. So I will be taking this all off. But today my kids are both at a baseball practice, so it's a nice quiet house. I felt like, hey, might as well take advantage. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my Morphe sponge just to kind of pat around here a little bit. Make sure it's all buffed in. Okay, so the makeup I'm going to do today is going to be using the Morphe 350 palette. I did use the 3502 palette before. Like I said, I do have the paint pot on my eye already, so I can just go ahead and go in. And the first color I'll use is like a more neutral shade. They don't have names on it, but I'll go in with the 5th color over. And I'm going to use my big fluffy brush, which is the Morphe M501. And knock some of that off. And just kind of circle that into my crease. The next color I'm going to use is more of another kind of orangey shade, but a little bit darker. And it'll be the second row down right underneath that first color that we used. And the brush that I'm going to use for that is the Morphe M511. It's like a nice big fluffy brush to build a lot of color on. Next color I'll take is like a warm brown, this one right here. It's the fourth one down on the last row. I'm going to keep that same brush for now, but I'm just going to kind of concentrate it more on the outside before I bring it in. So just kind of like packing it on and then to start to bring it in. I'll go back with that second color, that kind of orangey color, and just kind of buff over that just to make sure everything's kind of blended together. And then go back with your biggest fluffy brush with that first shade and go around that outside as well. Next, I'll take probably my favorite brush is my 217 from MAC. Just been my tried and true brush forever that I've loved forever. It's a little smaller tapered brush, and I'll go in with a little darker shade. And then that will be like the darkest right here. And again, focus more on the outside. And then bring it in. I'm going back with nothing on it, or I hadn't added any more. I'm just kind of buffing that out right there. And then I'm going to take a little pencil brush. This is a Sigma E45 small taper blending brush, and I'm going to take a dark shade, like a dark brown. Let's use this one right here on the very bottom row, fourth one over. And that one I'm going to focus right on the outside. And again, kind of press it into the outside before you start bringing it in, just to kind of get the color like where you want it before you blend it in. I'm just going to take that 217 and blend that last color before the darker one. Kind of blend those together a little bit. What I want to do is I want to have like a nice shimmery lid. So I think what I'm going to do is take my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and this one is in NW20. I pumped it into here, to this little MAC jar a while ago. Okay, I'm going to take this little teeny Real Techniques detailer brush, dip into my concealer, and I'm just going to kind of map out where I want my shimmer color to be. This will help it grab a little bit better. So looks, you can do the whole entire lid But this one I want it to be dark on the outside and lighter on the inside, so I'm going to just do this little half cut right here. Okay. Okay, so the shimmer that I'm going to use is right here in the same palette. It's this little third one down in the second to last row. I'm going to pick it up with my MAC 2, and it's already rubbed off, and I know this is the 242 brush. I love this one for packing on color. So we're just going to like basically press it on. Don't worry that there's a big, like, you know, demarcation line right there, because we're going to blend that out. Okay guys, so I'm back with my lashes on. I'm using the Huda Beauty lashes in the style Bridgette. Really pretty, very full and flared out. But the funny thing is I cut off quite a bit on the end because it's so much longer than my eyes. So to say that they're this flared out, and I cut off a lot of the flare. So these are full-on flared lashes. So pretty. So the next thing I'm going to do is some concealer. So I will use the Tarte Shape Tape in the color Light. I totally can't wait till my new concealer comes in, because I've just been reading a lot about it, and just seems like it's going to be amazing. So I'm kind of excited to try something different, because I've been using this for quite a while and I love it. So like they say, why fix what's not broken, but I just want to try something new. So I'm going to take my pointed foundation brush from Real Techniques, which I always use to just kind of blend out my concealer first before I buff it out. My little sponge. For cream contour, I will just take my Smashbox. It's a contour and foundation stick. Set that concealer and everything with my Frankie Rose powder. This one is in Cream Puff. For bronzer today, I will use, I've kind of already got like dark going on, like my skin's dark because my foundation was a little dark, so I don't need a dark bronzer today. So this one's always been light on me, so I haven't really used it a lot. It's the Estee Edit, the Barest Bronzer by Estee Lauder in light medium. It's a really big one, so it's like, it's gonna last me forever, because I don't use it a lot because it is too light for me. Sometimes I use it more for my nose contour, but I will use it basically to set my contour, but it's not so dark. So I'm going to use my my powder brush from Real Techniques to just kind of get a little bit of bronzer on here. This is the MAC 165. It's nice and tapered, so the bristles are a little stiffer, so I can get all that powder off easily. It really just kind of gets it all off for me. So next I'll go in with some blush. I think I'll use my Made Z palette with, these are Makeup Geek blushes, I believe. No, these are MAC. These are my MAC ones. This is like the awesomest brush. It's Eco Tools, I believe. Yeah, Eco Tools. And it just says full blush brush, but it's a beautiful blush brush. Anyways, I'm gonna dip it into just a couple of the pinks. I'm just going randomly, just kind of dipping them into, because there's like brights, and so I'm just going random. I'm not doing anything specific, just to get some color on my cheeks. And the colors in here is Pincho Peach, Blushbaby, and Dame from MAC. They're all pinks, but different forms of pink, so I'm just putting them all together just to get a real pretty, bright but neutral pink, if that makes sense. Blushbaby was always my favorite putting on people when I worked for MAC. It like literally worked on so many different skin tones, so neutral. But then I'd always have to add like something, you know, brighter if the skin was a little bit darker. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is put a little, I don't think I've ever used this on camera. This is the Lock-It brightening powder from Kat Von D. And I'm going to use it to set under my eyes while I do the under eyes, because there's going to probably be a lot of fallout. So I'm just going to press it into my little powder and just like set it under my eye right here. So not only is it going to catch fallout, but it also brightens under the eye, because that's what this is. It's a brightening powder, which we all like brightening around the eyes. I'll even set a little bit more on my nose. Just like that. Okay, and while I'm waiting for that, while I'm kind of baking that area, I'm gonna do my nose contour as well. My favorite thing, I have so many contour powders that you could use to do your nose, but my favorite is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow in Dulce de Leche. The coloring is good for me. So I'm just gonna go right down the side. Now I'm very narrow on the top of the bridge of my nose. It's just at the bottom is where I start to like be a little fuller. So I like to just kind of slim out this, kind of snatch that part to make it more narrow, because I feel like it's like narrow in here and then it widens. So that's why I try to always do this part. So we'll just let that sit while I'm doing under my eyes. Under eye, we're going to go back into our Morphe M3502 palette. And I will take, okay, so I'm going to dip this into the darkest shade that we used. So the darkest shade that I used today was this bottom one here on the bottom. So I'm going to dip that in closest to my lash line. And we're just going to like work it right under the lash line. The next one I'll use is, I'll take that little tapered brush from Sigma, which is the E45, and I'll dip it into this was the second color we used today, that orangey shade. So I'm going to dip it into that. And I'm just going to go right over that and blend it downwards. And then I'm going to take my MAC 217, which was that other tapered brush, and I'll use the first color that we used, that one in the very top here. It's like that orangey kind of brown. And then do that right on the bottom. So it's just, you know, darkest to lightest, going it down. I think I want to put a little bit more dark. K. I'm going to put some bottom mascara on. I'm going to use my Hot and Naughty 2 Black Lash. Okay, so depending on how dramatic you want it, you can go right now with like a black or a dark brown into the waterline. I'm going to use the Fake Awake by Tarte. It's kind of like a nude color. So it's not white, but it's more flesh tone. And what this is going to do is make your eyes look a little bigger. Makes the whites of the eyes look a little bigger. So it's a little bit more doll-like. Which I like that look. So now we're just going to dust away all that baking powder again. And then blending out my nose. And now I'm going to set my foundation with this is the Slay All Day in Peach. You guys have seen this many times. Love it. And what am I going to use for highlight today? Let's do the Everglow highlighter from Ofra. And I'm going to use this Ipsy tapered highlighting brush. I'm going to do the 2 bottom colors here. Mix them together. Right on the tops of my cheeks. And tip of my nose. Okay. For lip liner, this is the Posey K from Kylie Cosmetics. For lipstick, I'm going to totally go old school and use Angel from MAC. This is probably the most repurchased MAC lipstick that I've ever done. It's always my favorite pink. And I will put a gloss over that just to give it a little bit more shine. Baby Sparks from MAC. Just to the center. Okay, there you go. So I'm gonna just go do my hair really quick and I'll be right back with the finished look. Okay guys, so I'm back with the finished look. I basically just curled my hair. So anyways, this is just a nice, pretty date night kind of look because it has a shimmery eye and full lashes, glossy lips. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please remember to like and subscribe and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.